So I literally just got an email from my lawyer about how Robinhood is being sued by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So I thought maybe this is a good time to film this video. And yes, we're gonna be spilling the tea on Robinhood because I don't believe that it's a good trading platform for young investors. I'm Annabelle and I'm the founder and CEO of Enrich. We're here to talk about personal finance, education, and why Robinhood is not a good choice for young investors. The reason it's so important to talk about Robinhood is because it's trying to attract young investors like college students and people who just turned 18 in high school, trying to get those people to start investing, which is also what I'm trying to do, but in a very different light. Robinhood just has a tactic of doing that actually takes advantage of the young investor, and it's something that not enough people are talking about. If you literally Google search, why is Robinhood bad though, so many results are gonna come up. There is a New York Times article out there about how Robinhood has had devastating results for some young investors who have gone so far into debt because of Robinhood's predatory tactics. So I just want to say, if you do read that New York Times article, I can link it down below, but I will say trigger warning because there is mention of a man taking his own life, and that can be upsetting to read about. So I just wanted to mention that. So why is Robinhood so bad? If you're wondering that, let me just break it down for you with something really simple. Robinhood is not good for young investors because it's encouraging people to trade stocks, which first of all is a really difficult thing to do and to be successful at. And it also doesn't educate you on how to engage with investments, on how to manage your own assets, on how to have a long-term strategy. There's basically no education on the platform. It's just like, here's your first free stock and now you should buy a ton more. And that's not a good way to invest. It's not even a good way to make money in the long term. And their predatory tactics are starting to have some pretty big consequences for them as a company, and more importantly, for their customers. So Robinhood has a user experience where if you allow it to send you notifications, it's gonna be engaging with you all the time. And it encourages people to be checking their stocks all the time. And stocks are different from normal investments. So if you invested in an index fund, like what we talk about in my video about how to start investing, you're good. You do not have to worry about this. But unfortunately, Robinhood sucks in a lot of young investors to trade stocks. And trading stocks is a really difficult thing to do well. Even experts like Warren Buffett have trouble doing it really successfully and have failures, and it takes a lot of money to be able to be a good stock trader. So if you are a college student and you don't have a ton of money to throw around, it's really hard to do well. And Robinhood actually capitalizes on that because it encourages you to buy more than you can afford, which often causes people to go into debt. And debt is literally one of the worst things that you can have as a student, first of all, because you might already be dealing with student loan debt, which can already be a big burden. Second of all, debt is just not good for anybody. Nobody wants to have debt when they could rather not have debt. For Robinhood to be encouraging people to take on debt when they don't need to, and when there are other investing strategies that are gonna make more sense for that investor, it's just astonishing because it's so bad and it doesn't have the best interest of the customer in mind. And my true belief is that if you're a company that's not operating in the best interest of your customer, you're not going to succeed in the long term because your customer is the most important thing if you're a business owner and if you have a good company. That's just the most important thing is customers. So if you have any personal experiences with Robinhood and you'd like to share them, feel free to comment them down below. I know so many people, it has kind of like a cult personality behind it. Some people love Robinhood, but the truth is Robinhood is just not good for the average investor. I wouldn't want to use Robinhood because I don't want to have to pick my own stocks. I don't want to have to go to all that work with so much risk. Picking your own stocks and engaging in stock trading like Robinhood encourages you to do is literally so similar to gambling, and that's what they're not telling you. And Robinhood gamifies their whole interface so it feels so exciting and you get like confetti raining down when you're doing well. That is really pleasing as a user, and it's exciting. It's so human to want to engage with that and to find that exciting. But the truth is, when it comes to your investments, you don't want exciting. You want stable and steady and normal. The main thing to focus on when it comes to Robinhood and why you shouldn't invest using Robinhood as a young investor is that every time you engage with the platform, they're going to be trying to encourage you to do things out of your comfort zone, and that's not positive. That's bad. That's predatory behavior by the company, and it's just not okay. Robinhood makes investing synonymous with stock trading, which is incorrect. It's not true. And while Robinhood might offer some ETFs where you can invest in index funds, those are not the stocks that they're encouraging you to invest in. That's not the strategy they're encouraging you to take. They capitalize on a persona who might like fantasy sports, often is male. Women use Robinhood too, no question. It is such a gamified platform that it's really appealing to people who kind of like that type of interface, who like that kind of like competitiveness. And you know, I could even see myself liking that, but because I know this backside, this underbelly of Robinhood, no, there's no chance that you're gonna see me using it or recommending it on the Enrich survey for that matter, because it's not good for young investors. It does not have their best interest at heart. And the fact that they're facing lawsuits by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, that is an indicator that they're not doing their job correctly. They're not helping young people invest in their future. They're capitalizing on a lack of knowledge. They're capitalizing on a lack of education. And there's a reason that they don't offer very much education whatsoever in their own app, because it's better for them if you don't know what you're doing. So while Robinhood had its appeal for a long time, it's becoming really clear that it does not have the best interest of a young investor, and it's not a safe place for you to invest your money. There are just too many cons for Robinhood to be a good investment choice. There are a few ways that you could make it work, but it's not worth that struggle, and it's not worth engaging with a company that's not trying to protect you, that's not trying to help you and empower you to invest in a way that actually is going to make sense for you in the long run. They're taking advantage of people and taking advantage of people's weaknesses and people's lack of knowledge, and that's just not okay for a company to be doing that's claiming to democratize investing. Like, come on, that's not what they're doing. It's not what they're doing at all. So if you're wondering if you should invest in Robinhood as a young investor, please don't. For your own sake, that's probably not the best way to start investing. But we do have a survey called the Enrich survey that helps college students find investment accounts that actually will work for them and make sense for them in the long term. So I'll have that linked down below, of course. The thing that you should leave this video with is that investing should not be scary, it should not be intimidating, and it should not prevent people from doing what's gonna help them in the long term. And there are so many companies out there that have historically been that way, and the financial industry already has so many flaws that for Robinhood to be a startup and then to gain all this momentum and go in this direction is frankly really disappointing, and I wished for better for them. I hope that they can still turn it around, but at this point, I really don't think that it's safe or smart for young investors to start investing with Robinhood. I would avoid it completely, but that's just my personal opinion. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was a little bit more tea spilling than we usually do here. You can check out my video about how to start investing if you're curious. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so glad that you did. I'm Annabelle. Bye.